Hello and welcome to our programme From the Top, where we talk to the leaders across the aerospace industry. We're going to be talking technology today, and I'm joined by Paul Stein, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Rolls-Royce. And Paul, you've been pretty busy today, actually, because you've had the meeting of all the CTOs. And how did that go, and what can we expect as an industry?
Yeah, exactly, Alan. So this morning, the CTOs of the 7 big aviation industries, so ourselves, Rolls-Royce, Boeing, and Airbus, and Dassault, and General Electric, and United Technologies, and Safran, all got together because we've decided to cross competitive boundaries to make sure that the aviation industry drives more rapidly towards the sustainable outcome that we all need. So we've agreed on a 3-pronged strategy. The first is to continue the relentless pursuit of fuel efficiency in engines and airframes that we're doing today. Second is to work far more closely with the fuels industry to drive towards sustainable aviation fuels as rapidly as we can. And the third element is disruptive technologies, including electrification.
Okay, it's quite an interesting thing because we know we need it, but there is actually a huge cost to pay by the operators, isn't it? At the moment, any sustainable alternative fuel is looking at 3 times the cost of Jet A1, for example. What do we do about that? How do you take that step from the technology side to push the industry to make that change itself?
Well, we have to remember that the fossil fuels industry has been around for 100 years, and it's a huge and very mature industry. And we're asking it to slowly repurpose itself towards developing sustainable fuels. And this isn't going to happen overnight, Alan. It's going to happen in an incremental way. And that's why we've got to work very closely with those industries, because we can't impose on them a recommendation that they change overnight.
Now, we've seen the industry working together in partnerships. We've seen it in the engine business, but it is quite a big step, isn't it, to say we're going to cross off of the competitive side to work together for the common good. That's unusual.
Yes, we're looking at pre-competitive issues, so issues where we think we can drive the pace of change, particularly in sustainability, by working together. It's not just sustainability we're working together on, though. We're also working, for example, on STEM outreach, in other words, trying to attract younger people into aviation. We've got so many exciting challenges ahead. We know we're going to need a lot of enterprising young minds and old minds to get onto these challenges, and so that's another topic that we're working on together.
Because that is good if we've got new technologies to work on, particularly digitalisation. And I know at Rolls you had your intelligent engine concept. What sort of new technologies can we see people working on?
Well, so first of all, the gas turbine's still got a lot of room ahead of it. We've not given up on the gas turbine, far from it, and our UltraFan engine will take us on another 10% in fuel efficiency and also 3 dBs down in noise compared with today's engines. So we still need aerodynamics experts, we still need people that understand the thermomechanical nature of these hugely complex products, because we'll be flying with gas turbines for the next 40 or 50 years. But on top of that, as you quite rightly mentioned, we've got digitization, so more and more the use of artificial intelligence and high-level data analytics in order to look at products while they're in service to optimize their use and minimize fuel burn, and electrification, which is opening up a whole new world of propulsive technology that just wasn't open to us before the mushrooming that we've recently seen on the back of the electric vehicle industry and industries that also use electrification like rail.
And Rolls have announced, of course, the deal with Siemens to work with the electric engine there. How much do you see that happening? How soon do you see Rolls being able to produce an engine that will be capable of flying a larger aircraft rather than the short ones that we're seeing at the moment?
Well, you'll see over the next little while a lot of test and prototypes flying. We are planning to fly the eFan-X jointly with Airbus, which will be the world's first multi-megawatt class hybrid electric aircraft in 2021. Now, it's a demonstrator, it's not an airplane that people can buy, but it's to show the technology works, because we're actually pioneering in areas that no one's done before. Early next year, we're going to be taking on the world speed record for electric flight with a small company that we're working with in Gloucester in the UK called Electroflight, and they're building a great aircraft that will be flown over the North Welsh coast sometime in the first quarter of next year. And also we're developing a hybrid power pack based on our Model 250 helicopter engine that's going to be offered into what's called the eVTOL market. So this is the market for sort of flying taxis and that sort of thing. Many companies are producing concepts in that area, and we're there to produce propulsive systems for them all. Now, how long it's going to take to impact passenger aviation depends a little bit on the demand in the industry. For the middle of the market and wide-bodied, so 737s, A320s up to the really big stuff, really we're talking about the middle of the 2030s. It's going to be a long time before the technology is mature enough and the benefits can be yielded. For regional aviation, maybe the tail end of the 2020s, so maybe 2028, 2029, we'll see some regional aviation services being offered. But for some of the smaller machines, there's room for companies to move fast enough to offer something in a much shorter time frame, as long as they can meet the regulatory and safety hurdles.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.